On September 21, 2025, at 19:53 GMT, a solar eclipse will occur in the sign of Virgo. In astrology, it completes a configuration known as a sail or tailwind. Eclipses always highlight imbalance in the sphere symbolized by the sign, and this time it concerns Virgo. Virgo is connected to the sixth house of the horoscope, the domain of work, daily duties, health, self-defense, and basic needs. It represents all the routine matters necessary to keep life in order: work, caring for the body, household tasks, discipline. On a societal level, this relates to systems and services that maintain structure, healthcare, repair, government institutions. Therefore, the eclipse may manifest as dissatisfaction with the quality of services, organizational issues, or the sense that everyday life is disrupted. The sixth house is also considered the house of enemies and divorces, since it precedes Libra, the house of partnerships. It raises questions of boundaries, responsibilities, and the real conditions for relationships. The eclipse's influence may appear through discussions of grievances, domestic matters, or mismatched expectations. Yet conscious awareness of one's needs and boundaries makes it possible to build healthier unions in the future. It is important to remember, Virgo emphasizes concrete steps and tasks. First, we must identify what we truly need: housing, work, personal habits, time for ourselves and family. Only after that can we move toward harmony in relationships and partnerships, the Libra sphere. During this eclipse, issues of profession and retraining may also arise, since January 2025 the South Node has been in Virgo, while the North Node is in Pisces. Pisces symbolize meaning, philosophy, and vision for the future. Thus, practical actions, Virgo, must be aligned with a broader purpose, Pisces. If we focus only on routine, irritation and fatigue arise. But if we remember why we do things, for example, cleaning not just for cleanliness, but to create comfort and care for the family, everything takes on new meaning. Key advice for this period: listen to what people say about their needs. Clearly recognize your own needs and boundaries. Look for a deeper purpose in every action. Reflect on where your daily habits are leading you and adjust them if needed. Pay special attention to children and pets. Their values and well-being will become especially noticeable. This eclipse reminds us, without order in daily life, health, and routine, it is difficult to build harmonious relationships and move toward our goals. Aries. In your horoscope, the eclipse takes place in the sixth house and highlights the search for tools, solutions, and ideas that could bring the desired results without long and exhausting effort. This influence can manifest in different areas of life, primarily in work, but also in how your daily life and household are organized. The sixth house is the sector of everyday routines, work conditions, and lifestyle. An eclipse here is usually a closing one, marking the end of certain circumstances. For some Aries, this could mean a change of job, relocation, or a shift in organizational conditions at work. Management may change, your circle of colleagues may shift, or your professional tasks may take a new direction. In short, the basic framework of your everyday life and work is transforming. These changes don't always refer strictly to a career. They can be about any form of occupation. For example, you might change the gym or pool you attend, update your health routines, or adopt new daily habits. Since the sixth house also governs health, this eclipse may bring solutions in this area as well, such as completing a treatment course or being freed from certain restrictions related to health. Sometimes, decisions at this time seem to make themselves, especially regarding clinics, insurance, or medical options, as if the space narrows your choices and points you in a specific direction. At the core, though, this eclipse most strongly affects your work, your colleagues, and your overall attitude toward your profession. It is a period when the universe seems to guide you down a specific scenario. Pay attention also to what happened 9 years ago. Were there any major themes around work, profession, or place of living? Those decisions may now look like mistakes, but they were not. They were simply part of your growth. Every 9 years, the vector of development changes, and what once felt right can later look outdated. This eclipse is also supported by a very favorable configuration known as the Triangle of the Gods, showing that the right decision now will be to choose something new. Not just improving what already exists, but stepping into a fresh space you have never explored before. This might mean a new profession, a new type of work organization, especially if you are self-employed, or even a new kind of physical activity or lifestyle habit. The key is transformation. If everything continues the same way, little will change. To truly shift your life, you need new choices, new routines, and new directions. That is the energy this eclipse brings. If you hire employees, assistants, or household helpers, such as a nanny, this period may bring quick changes. Someone may leave suddenly, and you may quickly find a replacement. This eclipse also shows a release of worry or responsibility in caring for others. For example, if you've been looking after a sick person, their health may improve, lessening your concern. Or if you've been focused on a young child, they may reach a stage where daily care becomes easier. In this sense, the eclipse can manifest as liberation from a burdensome daily responsibility. Taurus. In your horoscope, the eclipse takes place in the 5th house. This is a particularly interesting eclipse for you, as the 5th house symbolizes everything we choose for ourselves, our personal choices. It governs the selection of profession, type of work, or direction of activity. This house also reflects personal choices in partnerships and relationships. Additionally, it represents what we have personally created. For some, it may be a business; for others, children, hobbies, or creative pursuits. In essence, it shows our creations born from personal choice and inspiration. Since eclipses reveal results of choices made 9 years ago, this is a period to evaluate those past decisions. You may consider whether your previous choices brought the outcomes you hoped for, whether they became a resource, or whether, in hindsight, a different choice, a different profession, partner, or approach to raising children would have been better. This is also a time to make adjustments based on current reality. For example, you might improve or modernize your work, enhance the quality of goods or services you provide, or make changes at home. The eclipse will also influence matters related to your children. For some, it may signal the birth of a child or new developments in your children's lives. More broadly, the eclipse highlights separation and independence, such as a child becoming independent, moving out, or starting school, gradually becoming less tied to home. In personal relationships, the South Node in the 5th house signals the completion of a karmic pattern. If you have been in a long-term relationship without clarity, this eclipse may prompt a serious conversation with your partner about the future of your relationship, their goals, and expectations. You may feel the need to set an ultimatum. Either the relationship evolves to a new level, or it ends. The South Node represents accumulated karma, making this period ideal for honest dialogue with your partner. It is a time to openly express long-held concerns, releasing misunderstandings that may have built up over the years. The influence of this eclipse can also manifest in work or employment. New directions or ways of earning income may appear, potentially becoming an additional source of profit. Gemini. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the 4th house. However, the entire astrological configuration of the sail also involves your 9th, 10th, 1st, and 4th houses. For you, this is a time when you are making contributions toward the future. This could be the birth of a child. Children are like our hands reaching into the future. It could also be an investment, such as putting money into education, purchasing land, or acquiring property. Primarily, though, this eclipse affects the sector that represents your home, place of residence, and family relationships. Changes may occur in this area. Someone may decide to move, renovate, or transform their living space. For some, this could mean relocating to another city or country, selling property, or making repairs to rent it out or improve your own home. This eclipse can also manifest in family relationships or the composition of your household. For some, it may be a period of marriage or important family events. For others, it could mark the birth of a child or grandchild. Essentially, this is a time affecting processes within your family, as well as matters related to real estate and property ownership. Emotionally, this eclipse may bring up childhood memories. You might reflect on your upbringing, recall your parents' youth as you remember it, or think about how your childhood experiences have influenced your current life and choices. You may also consider how your parents shaped your career decisions. During this period, you may find yourself traveling frequently or feeling unsettled, as if you are living between two homes or managing multiple households. This eclipse can create a sense of uncertainty, questions about what to do with property, whether to rent or sell, where to live, or whether to start renovations. There may be a temporary feeling that nothing is settled yet. On the other hand, if you are searching for a place to rent or buy, this eclipse can narrow your options, helping you find the ideal location. Similarly, if you plan to sell property, such as a home, office, or parking space, a buyer may appear unexpectedly during this period. In summary, this eclipse influences matters related to property, ownership, relocation, renovations, and family affairs. Cancer. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the third house and indicates that, for the sake of your future, you will be ready to change your habits here and now, either giving something up or adopting a new daily practice. For example, you might start studying a foreign language every day, begin a course that teaches a useful new skill, or systematize your existing knowledge and experience into a structured system that becomes a tool for transforming your life. You may realize that you already have enough knowledge and skills, but they need to be organized to become a powerful instrument in your hands. This is also a time when a long-standing project or issue may come to completion, closing a chapter that has been on your mind for a long time. The third house also represents your social circle, not close friends or loved ones, but people around you in a local or territorial sense. Changes may occur naturally in this area. Neighbors may move, you may relocate and encounter a new circle of people, colleagues at work may change, or you might switch gyms and meet a new group. The South Node in this house indicates that people or contacts who are no longer relevant in your life will naturally leave, and you will attract new people whose interests align with yours. Additionally, the third house governs siblings. During this period, important events may arise, meetings, conversations, or significant shared activities. Since the South Node represents accumulated karma, this is a time when past experiences can be transformed into concrete action. For example, experience gained in various fields can now help you organize a business or find work that fully utilizes your accumulated knowledge and skills. The third house also rules communication and transportation. This may be a time when someone changes their phone, laptop, internet provider, or vehicle. It's also a period when you may seek new routes and paths, wanting to walk in unfamiliar places rather than the roads you know by heart. Leo. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the second house, the sector of your resources, finances, assets, and self-esteem. Accordingly, the events of this period will relate to your resources. For some, this may involve changing jobs or sources of income, or even a shift in who provides financial support. This is also a time to reconsider your principles of interacting with others regarding financial matters. While the eclipse occurs in your second house, the broader astrological configuration also involves your 7th and 8th houses. The 7th house governs partnerships, while the 8th house represents financial and energetic exchanges with others. Therefore, a key task during this period is to develop a new way of managing financial and energetic interactions with the world. This may first appear in work-related areas, such as finding a new source of income or establishing new methods of dealing with clients or your employer. It can also manifest in family finances or shared budgets with a partner. Since the eclipse occurs on the South Node, the karmic cup of accumulated karma, this period reflects what we deserve karmically. It may not always align with our personal logic or expectations. Because the second house represents personal resources, the South Node indicates that investments or giving are necessary to receive later. This is an ideal time to invest in yourself, in education, preventive or therapeutic healthcare, sports, or fitness. Investments can also include your wardrobe, appearance, or cosmetic procedures. Essentially, any investment in yourself to increase your resources is supported now. Since any eclipse represents a peak of systemic imbalance, you may feel that resources are insufficient or that achieving your goals requires additional support, either from another person or, for example, through a bank loan or mortgage. The second house also governs speech and voice. This is a time when you may stop trying to convince or persuade someone with whom you've been discussing or debating for a long time. You may decide it's not worth it, or you may simply be tired of involving yourself in someone else's matters. It's advisable not to give advice to those who haven't asked for it, as everyone learns from their own mistakes. Finally, the second house represents sources of expenses. During this eclipse, some channels of energy or financial outflow may close. You may pay off debts, stop paying rent and return to your own property, or move in with a partner, ending the need to rent. Changes in your partner's income or shared budget are also possible, and likely positive. However, this eclipse reminds you that even if you have temporary access to another person's resources, it's essential to maintain your own personal sources of finance and independence. Virgo. For you, this eclipse is particularly important because it occurs in your own sign. It signals that it's time to make changes in your life. While an eclipse or new moon in your own sign is always a moment to focus on yourself, on what you want for yourself, without considering the interests or needs of others, this eclipse also occurs on the South Node, with the North Node in your partnership sector. This suggests that some of these changes may happen under the influence of other people. You might feel as though you are adapting to someone else or responding to the demands of clients or an employer. On an event level, this can be true, but ultimately, these changes will benefit you. The key is understanding what you truly want, what your needs are, and which relationships or partners during this period will act as a stimulus for your personal growth and development. Sometimes, advancing to a higher level requires significant self-adjustment. In this case, a person or external expectations, such as those of a client or employer, can act as a catalyst for positive change in your life. Eclipses in our own sign often influence us in ways that transform us externally as well. People may begin to perceive you differently, even those who have known you for a long time. The first house represents the self and the image we project to the world, so the changes occurring under this eclipse may touch many areas: your work, personal life, and external appearance. You might want to change your hairstyle or clothing style, switch jobs, or adjust your schedule to accommodate a partner's relocation or new work arrangements. Partnerships will inevitably be affected during this time. Your dialogue with a partner will reflect your internal dialogue with yourself. If you are confident in your desires and self-worth, this dialogue will serve you well. But if you doubt your own significance or feel that you need the other person more than they need you, challenges may arise in both personal and professional relationships. It's important to remember that an eclipse in your own sign can create significant changes in your life. These changes may not manifest immediately, but can unfold over the year following the eclipse. Therefore, it's essential to understand what you truly want and actively work toward it, primarily through personal transformation, by changing habits, thinking patterns, and worldview. Such internal changes quickly reflect in your external circumstances. On this day, it's crucial to focus on your intentions. Circumstances and events will begin to align around them, supporting your path. Difficulties or conflicts in relationships should not simply be seen as bad people, but as signals to examine your own role in shaping the situation. Eclipses in your own sign can also bring new responsibilities. You may take on a commitment or role that initially feels challenging. Over time, roughly a year to a year and a half, you'll realize that while it may be difficult, this role is ultimately beneficial for your growth. Finally, this eclipse also reflects decisions, conclusions, and choices you made 9 years ago. Even if those choices now seem mistaken, they were necessary experiences that brought you to the position you occupy today. The karmic nodes shift every 9 years, revealing the areas of focus in our lives, which explains why past decisions may now appear different. The experience you gained then was essential for reaching your current stage of life. Libra. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the 12th house. This is the house of what lies behind us, the house of the past, completion, and secrets. It's a time when, metaphorically speaking, you put a period on issues that have lingered in your life when you finish something or say goodbye. You may conclude work at an organization, end collaborations with colleagues or clients, or move away from a place where you once lived. This is a time that brings closure to ongoing processes. Eclipses do not bring something entirely new. They intensify and bring to a climax the processes already unfolding. The 12th house also relates to chronic illnesses, so if treatment is relevant for you, this eclipse's energy may help you complete a course of treatment or heal from a disease. This can extend beyond your personal life. If you've been caring for someone who is sick or temporarily incapacitated, this period may mark their recovery and reduce the need for your active involvement. The 12th house is also the house of solitude. During this period, you might feel drawn to a secluded place that feels like a source of strength. This could be a location where you once lived, a retreat, a resort, an island, or any place that replenishes your energy. It's also a time for reflecting on the past 9 years, reassessing events in your life and the decisions you made 9 years ago, possibly drawing new conclusions. The 12th house is additionally the house of things we put on the back burner, of dreams and aspirations we think about but haven't acted on. When an eclipse occurs here, you may decide it's time to stop waiting or feeling you lack something to realize your plans, projects, or dreams. You may finally begin implementing ideas you've contemplated for years. Because the 12th house is also connected with chronic health issues, you might develop a comprehensive plan to improve your condition. This could include physical exercise, energy practices, medications, or dietary supplements, a full program aimed at cleansing and strengthening your body. The 12th house also symbolizes work performed in isolation, remotely, or temporarily. If this is relevant for you, you may take steps regarding such work now. Some may conclude a temporary contract and return to past activities, while others may sign new contracts involving temporary or remote work, possibly requiring relocation for certain tasks. If you've been out of work, for instance, retired or taking an extended creative break, this period of isolation may end, and you may find work that re-engages you socially. This eclipse can also bring decisions regarding property located far away from where you live, as well as matters related to ownership documents. Additionally, changes may affect your partner's work schedule or employment style. The 12th house is also the house of forgiveness and mercy. During this time, you may forgive someone with whom you had past conflicts, resentment, or betrayal. Even if no external events manifest this, internally, you can release the resentment or loss. Regarding losses, this is a time to reflect on what you've lost throughout life, possessions, money, opportunities, or time, and recognize which losses were avoidable. This reflection allows you to put a mental and emotional closure on processes that may have ended long ago. Scorpio. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the 11th house. This eclipse is very favorable for your sign. It gives you the opportunity for a rise, creative, professional, or in your personal achievements. This eclipse allows you to obtain something you desire without much effort or material and energetic expenditure. From the outside, it may seem like luck or favorable circumstances, but in reality, it is a manifestation of karma and cause and effect. Sometimes, to achieve what we desire, no practical action is needed. Just dreaming, thinking, and truly wishing is enough. During this eclipse, your inner desires and dreams, everything you've been nurturing inside yourself, will bear fruit. This is a period when you reap the results of your inner, not just external, work. The 11th house is generally the house of results, so this is a time when you may see tangible outcomes from your efforts across different areas, including work or individual entrepreneurial activities. In short, for you, this eclipse period is a time of life's gifts. In practical terms, the influence of this eclipse may manifest as visible results from long-term efforts that previously showed little return. For example, if you run your own business and have invested significant effort, but haven't yet seen results on the scale you hoped for, now you may experience clear and noticeable achievements. This period may also change your social circle. Some relationships with friends, colleagues, or like-minded individuals may naturally end. Someone may move away, leave a job, or paths may diverge simply because your interests and goals have changed. The 11th house is also the house of other people's children, children who are part of your life but are not your own. This may be a time for important events involving them, such as celebrations, birthdays, or the birth of a child of a sibling, close friend, or your partner's children from previous relationships. You may make decisions regarding these children, expenses related to them, or the amount of attention your partner gives them. The 11th house also represents the internet and progress. For those working online or integrating new technologies into their work, this is an excellent time. If you previously lacked clarity on how to use new technologies effectively, things may now fall into place. This is also a favorable period to start work online, manage a blog, or sell products or services digitally. Overall, this eclipse will give you the desired sense of control, not only over your life and destiny, but also over the environment and people around you. The 11th house is also associated with lovers, so personal life may feature a bright event. This could be a new acquaintance, possibly through the internet or via friends introducing you to someone important. You may also be invited to an event such as a birthday, wedding, or anniversary, or to join a team working on specific projects. Additionally, this period may bring important information via the internet, information you have been waiting for. Sagittarius. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the 10th house. This is the house of our social status, our position at work, career, and also personal life. It is the house of our achievements. The 10th house represents the zenith of our horoscope. It reflects the accomplishments by which others evaluate us. This period activates a program of changes in your status. However, eclipses do not bring unexpected events. They are the culmination of ongoing processes. For some, this may manifest in your career or work, a job termination, the start of your own business, or the completion of certain responsibilities at work. There may be changes in your company, among management, or modifications to laws and rules that require adjusting your work processes. It may also manifest in your personal life as a change in status. For some, this could be marriage, while for others, it may be a period of feeling like the head of the household, assuming responsibility for your family's success and well-being. It could also involve receiving documents that grant you specific rights or status. This eclipse may affect your possessions as well. Ownership of property, vehicles, or other assets can influence your status. During this period, someone may relocate, resolve real estate matters, sell or purchase property. Some may move to a different city, district, or even another country. In other words, the influence of this eclipse can manifest in terms of your place of residence. Additionally, this eclipse will reveal the outcomes of decisions, actions, and choices you made 9 years ago when the North Node was in this same sector. You will now be able to assess the results of those processes, whether related to work, residence, or family matters. For business owners, changes may occur in the structure of your work or among the people you collaborate with, hire, or work alongside. At the same time, the South Node in this sector can create a temporary sense of uncertainty. You may have felt secure in your current level or status for a long time, but now it may seem unclear what stage you are at. For example, you might be working in an organization without a formal contract and unsure whether you will continue there or gain full employee status. This is an illustration of how the South Node may create a temporary feeling of instability or a perceived loss of status. But this is necessary for acquiring a new status that aligns better with your current circumstances. Finally, this eclipse in the 10th house may also bring changes to your parents' status. They might move or receive documents that grant them specific rights. Capricorn. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the 9th house in a favorable aspect to your sign. This is a time that closes certain matters connected to this house in your chart. What might these matters be? They could relate to legal or bureaucratic issues, such as obtaining a diploma, certificates, documents, or permissions that allow you to work in a particular field or take a trip that interests you. This is generally a period when you can receive important information from afar. For some, it may manifest as relocation, travel, a journey, or business interactions with people who live far away or in other countries. Overall, this period expands your opportunities to influence spaces beyond your immediate environment. You may handle matters remotely, such as obtaining documents or signing contracts with international trading platforms. The ninth house also symbolizes education, so for some, this may manifest as completing a course, receiving certificates, or obtaining diplomas that will be useful in your professional work. It also represents the friends and relatives of your partner. Here, a certain matter may come to a close, perhaps one that was contentious or caused irritation. This could be a situation requiring your partner's regular involvement, helping friends or relatives, which took time and energy. Now, this matter may be resolved. Important conversations with your partner's relatives may also occur during this period. The eclipse in the ninth house often brings the desire to change jobs or shift the direction of your work. This eclipse will provide you with that opportunity, although it may not be as easy as it seems. You may have already been mentally preparing for a change. This could be a personal initiative rather than something forced by circumstances. The ninth house also symbolizes the personal life of your adult children and your grandchildren, so important events in this area may occur if relevant for you. In general, the ninth house reflects our worldview, our perspective that ultimately determines the course of our affairs. The eclipse in this sector reveals that for many years you may have underestimated yourself and your potential. You will realize that far more opportunities are available to you than you previously thought. No matter your current circumstances or age, you will see where you can find growth and development. The ninth house also represents our drive to develop and expand. The south node in this sector narrows the range of choices, simplifying decision-making. When there are too many options, it's easy to feel lost, but now the path for growth is clearer, making it easier to make the right decision. This is also a time when you can unite people around an idea or goal, facilitating collaboration to solve tasks together. Overall, this eclipse is a moment of favorable momentum for your sign, providing a tailwind that can quickly help you reach the place you want to be. Aquarius. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the 8th house. This is a very important house in our chart. Symbolically, it is the house of the phoenix, a house of crises, through which we are reborn and become stronger. This house also represents shared and joint finances and resources, including those with your partner, your parents, or business associates. It also reflects your ability to manage and interact with others, resources, and receive compensation for doing so. The influence of this eclipse indicates that a long-standing financial matter will be resolved. This could involve inheritance, property division, or the level of your compensation for managing other people's resources or capital. It is also a period in which important work-related events may occur. Your salary level could change, or the system of remuneration might be adjusted. You may find a new job with performance-based pay, where your earnings depend on the number of deals concluded or services sold. The eclipse could also resolve matters related to social benefits. For example, if you were on maternity leave, receiving a government allowance, this period might mark the transition back to work and the end of that support. If you were receiving unemployment benefits, you might now find employment and start earning a salary. The 8th house also symbolizes insurance, so some of you may adjust your health insurance or car insurance policies. This house governs interactions with other people, organizations, and the state, meaning some significant financial or legal matters may come to a close. For instance, you could repay a debt, close a loan or mortgage, or obtain the necessary documents for a mortgage. This is also a time to receive income from past investments, such as selling land, a property, or a vacation home purchased as an investment years ago, possibly even 9 years back. You may also begin to earn returns from financial or energy investments made in some endeavor or project. Additionally, this period can involve resolving taxes, payments, or alimony obligations. In short, this eclipse is a time when important financial or material matters relevant to you will be addressed. You may need to visit organizations handling financial matters, such as tax offices, pension funds, or insurance companies. The 8th house also represents our fears, and during this eclipse, you may literally need to confront a fear. It may also bring up issues or tasks that were relevant to you 9 years ago, since this eclipse often delivers results from decisions, actions, or steps taken in that period. This house also reflects the income of your partner, as well as your regular financial obligations, expenses that must be paid periodically. You may close certain accounts, subscriptions, or resolve debt issues, such as utility arrears. If your work involves managing other people's resources or capital, for example, working in procurement, sales management, accounting, or acting as an intermediary in transactions, you may receive the compensation you expect during this period. If managing others' resources is your regular work, the eclipse may bring changes in how you interact with employers or clients, or in your pay level. The 8th house also symbolizes crises, whether practical or internal. Sometimes everything seems fine externally, but inside there may be fear, doubt, or anxiety. The influence of this eclipse signals that this sense of crisis is moving into the past and a new stage of life is beginning. What you feared may have been only in your mind. In reality, everything is okay. During this time, it's important to avoid spending more than you can truly afford, meaning not using your future resources for present-day whims unless it is an investment that benefits you in the long term. Pisces. In your horoscope, the eclipse occurs in the 7th house, the sector of partnerships. In general, this eclipse, as part of the series occurring in Virgo, teaches you the experience of non-attachment to others. It gives you the opportunity to build your life plans in a way that is not influenced by the interests of other people. Essentially, it allows you to interact with others and be in relationships while maintaining your independence, so that these relationships and people do not shape your opinions or life plans. This eclipse helps you reassess the significance of certain relationships or individuals in your life. This does not necessarily mean ending relationships. It means evaluating your own role and importance within them. If you do not feel a sense of dependency, that you need a partner more than they need you, then things are balanced. But if you feel that way, it may become apparent that you need to rely primarily on yourself. Since Virgo relates to the basic needs of life, for Pisces, a fundamental need is relationships. It's important to learn how to build connections without depending on your partner, their resources, or their plans. While it's impossible to be completely independent within any relationship, the goal is to reduce the influence others have on your plans. If your relationships are complicated, filled with many small irritations, and you've remained silent about them for a long time, during this eclipse you might feel the urge to step away without explanation. This applies not only to personal relationships, but also to friendships and business partnerships. There is a paradox during this time. What you might want to blame a partner for, they might attempt to blame you for instead. This can be surprising and may make it difficult to find counterarguments. You may also be surprised by the practical, down-to-earth approach of others, feeling that they are too focused on minor matters and fail to see the bigger picture you perceive. Partners may seem obsessed with details, unable to recognize the larger goals or meaning in their actions. During the eclipse, significant changes may occur in the affairs of your partner, your friends, or business associates. Your personal partner may suggest changes in your living space, such as relocation, reorganizing the home, or undertaking repairs. No matter what issues arise in your relationships during this time, there is a key principle to remember. The solution lies in the house opposite the eclipse. For Pisces, this is your own sign. If something is going wrong in relationships, and you realize that some of your own mistakes contributed to the situation, it is important to focus less on your partners and more on yourself, your plans, and your personal growth. There may also be separations from people you've worked with for a long time, particularly if you've collaborated over a full cycle or half cycle of karmic nodes, roughly 9 or 18 years. Your relationships may shift as business partners propose new forms of cooperation, or your personal partner may propose formalizing your union, such as marriage. In summary, this eclipse strongly influences your partnerships in personal life, friendships, client relationships, or business collaborations, prompting reflection, restructuring, and reevaluation of dependency, priorities, and shared responsibilities.